Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. How you doing? Back for another stream. It's been a funny week here in Australia because today's actually a public holiday. So we had Monday was a public holiday for Easter Monday. So we only had a 3-day working week because today is Anzac Day, lest we forget. I guess you'd compare it to like Veterans Day in the US. It's a day where we sort of honor in Australia and New Zealand, people in the armed forces that have gone to war to defend our country and fight for all the freedoms that we enjoy today. So I did want to acknowledge Anzac Day because it is a pretty significant day for Australians. And I don't know if I have any New Zealand viewers, but in New Zealand as well. So yeah, so it's been an odd week. So I've had only 3 working days because we had the public holiday today. So next week's going to be a bit rough having to actually work for 5 days. But yeah, I mean, also an interesting week in collecting. My goodness. Some pretty interesting updates, some pretty interesting releases and announcements. What does exclusive even mean anymore? I've had people wanting to know Miss Allison's view on the trooper with the fur, and she had views, which may surprise people what her views were, because a lot of people wanted to know what she had to say. And goodness, like had to have a conversation with her. She was not happy with my celebration in 60 seconds recap. She thought that was very disrespectful to the Star Wars fandom. I told her I didn't care. And this is just my life with Darth Allison. It is what it is. But we're here to chat about all the things and stuff. And there's already quite a few of you in here. So thank you for joining me on this Friday, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I think that covers all of us. No snacks today. I do have a nice cup of tea in a Batman comic panel mug, which I do love. I do love this cup. I've had it for a very long time. So I love it a lot. Carlos in the chat first, of course. Would we start the stream any other way? Good morning, Helen and chat. Sending a very big hello from an 80-degree weather here in New Jersey. What a weird week of releases from Hot Toys. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Carlos. I'm sure Darth Allison is very angry since Hot Toys seem to have re-released the Range Trooper under the Andor banner. Another money grab it is. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great Friday. And I'll catch the replay later when I get home from work. Well, I checked. So in Perth, where I am, it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees Celsius, which for me is cold. Probably on global scales, not cold, but where I live is very hot. So for me, it's cold. Yeah, I think Darth Allison's views might actually take a few people by surprise, but we'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll talk about Darth Allison. Toy collectors here. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. We've got Gilbert. Hello, everyone. Another Friday and another stream from Helen. Of course, Helen's keeping Fridays alive. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is now my time slot. This is what we do on a Friday, folks. Aaron's here again. Looking forward to figure chat while I edit some articles at work. Oh, are you a journalist / in communications? It's kind of what I do, so that's cool. I was very proud because I run a blog for work, and it's a lot of work, and I pretty much do it on my own. And it was recognized as the second best business blog in Australia by this website. And random, but I was still like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. So yeah, that was my sort of highlight of the week work-wise. Uncarded Reviews is here. Happy holiday, everyone. Hello. Is it a holiday anywhere else? Thought maybe just Australia and New Zealand. I don't know if it's a holiday anywhere else. Anthony Stanfield's here. Hey, Helen. Hey, Anthony. How you doing? Lest we forget, 100% Ash. 100%. Valkyrie's here. Good morning, Helen. Have a great show. I'm on a business trip. I'll catch the rest of the show later. Oh, well, hello when you catch the rest of this later, and I hope your trip goes well. I like that 60-second clip. Well, I was quite proud of myself. That's why I literally set a timer. And I did it in 60 seconds because I was like, I just talked about all these things 2 weeks ago, and that was struggle enough. So for me to talk about the things again, I just didn't have it in me. And I think I said at one point, I was like, I'm not even going to talk about Star Wars in this stream, but I was like, oh, I have to acknowledge it because it was pretty much the whole week. And I went on like a walk and it just popped into my head. I was like, why don't you take like a speed dating approach and just like a minute bang, get it all done? And that's what we did. And I thought it was a clever idea. Maybe some people don't agree. It is what it is. Tim Tam Slam time. Oh goodness. Not for me today. My goodness. What did I have today? That might have been interesting. Oh my god. I had snack chat with Helen, everyone. So in Australia, and Ash might be able, I'll be keen to hear what Ash thinks about this. We have this block of chocolate which is called Snack. And the novelty of the Snack block of chocolate is that when I was a kid, the rows were bigger. So every square in the row was like a different flavored chocolate, had like a different filling. And they had a pineapple filling. And that was like my favorite, like, filling in the snack block. So if I had a row of Snack, like I was saving pineapple to last. That was the one that and you could only get it in this snack block. This year for Easter, they did mini Easter eggs filled with the pineapple cream from a snack block. This was like all my childhood dreams come true. So I bought a bag before Easter. And did I smash them in a silly amount of time? Absolutely. And then did I go to the supermarket on Tuesday when the Easter eggs were half price and buy every single bag of the mini pineapple Easter eggs? Yes, I did. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I did give some bags to friends. I brought a few bags home, and I was watching some baseball on Disney Plus. I had a little iced coffee. I had some tropical pineapple Easter eggs. I was living my best life. So yeah, this is what I'm currently obsessed with at the moment because if you know, the pineapple square on the snack block, it was the best thing ever. That's snack time with Helen, everyone. Australian snack food. I think you still have the snack block, but I've not bought it in ages because I really don't like a lot of the other squares. It's the kind of thing my parents would get and we'd share it as a family. Mike's here. Hey, everyone. Very interesting announcement releases from Hot Toys, but more importantly, what kind of sweet treats will be introduced today from Australia? Well, the pineapple Easter eggs. So they're like little mini eggs that have a filling in them. And normally you'd get like caramel or they do Turkish Delight, which I like Turkish Delight. I don't like the Turkish Delight they put in chocolate because that's quite low quality. They do like a strawberry cream, a peppermint cream, but the pineapple cream, my goodness, it's just I now have to like ration them out. Like I also, when I was in Hong Kong, they had that hazelnut Twix. And did I go to the 7-Eleven near my hotel and buy all the hazelnut Twix before I left? Yes, I did. But I still have a couple in my fridge. Like, I've been rationing those bad boys out because I know when they're gone, no more hazelnut Twix for Helen. So I need to get into that rationing mindset with my pineapple Easter eggs. Otherwise, they will not last very long. Natalie's here. Hey, Helen, a warm welcome from the UK. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely Friday. Ash, yeah. Ash knows what I'm talking about. Did you like the pineapple though, Ash? Because that was like my favorite one. Like I'd eat the Turkish Delight square first because that was the worst thing. And I think there was an orange one, and I don't like orange chocolate. I think that's gross. But I always remember there was like a peppermint, and then there was a caramel, and there was a pineapple. And on each block, it had a shape to represent the flavor. So you knew which one was pineapple, and I always saved that to last. I always, I think Shuri's in the cupboard. At least I hope Shuri's in the cupboard, because otherwise something is crawling around in my cupboard, and that is disconcerting. That sounds good. Yeah, it's so good. Did you not see them, Ash? Because I went to like a Coles, because Easter eggs were so expensive in Australia this year, and I feel like no one bought them. So come Monday, they were half price. So I went like to Coles on Tuesday. I didn't think any would be left. And they had like 8 packets of the pineapple Easter eggs, and I bought them all. and I have no regrets. Helen, you gave some to friends. That's the opposite of what you told me to do with my Tim Tams. Look, if you have a packet of Tim Tams, I don't think that's a rationing quantity. I had 8 bags of Easter eggs, and each bag had 10 Easter eggs. So I had 80 Easter eggs. This was a lot of Easter eggs. And do I need to eat 80 Easter eggs? No, I don't. They are small, but still. I gave 2 bags away. I still had a stupid amount of Easter eggs. I wasn't there with like 1 bag giving them away. It's fine. Honestly, I love citrus and chocolate. Dark chocolate, that is. Haven't had fruit and chocolate combo that I haven't liked yet. Interesting. I really don't like orange chocolate. I like ginger chocolate. I like the fruit and nut chocolate you can get. I like rum and raisin chocolate. Orange chocolate, I just doesn't appeal to me at all. Like orange in general, I'm got no problem with, but orange and chocolate is just a no-go. And it's actually funny because my mum loves orange chocolate. So if I'm getting her chocolate as part of a gift, I will get her orange chocolate because then I won't eat it. I won't be tempted to eat it. But yeah, I orange chocolate is not for me. My favorite one, strawberry. Yeah, strawberry's good. There's strawberry Aero blocks of chocolate. I don't know if you saw them, Ash, because they had a strawberry twirl. I feel like it was last year. And they were good, and I liked them because the strawberry cream can get a bit sickening like in a Freddo. But the strawberry twirl was really nice. So I do want to try the strawberry. Again, I feel like it's something I need to like take into work so I'm not just having my best life with a block of chocolate because I don't need that. We don't get snack in the UK. Oh, shame, Anthony. But you would know what I'm talking about. You're an Aussie, right? Like, I just remember as a kid, like, because my parents, like, when I was younger, had a supermarket. So quite often Dad would come home, like, on a Saturday night. He'd bring, like, a Cadbury's family-sized block of chocolate. Quite often it was snack. We'd each get a couple of rows when the rows were substantial. And that was happy days. Like, I looked forward to that so much. But, yeah, pineapple was the best square on the snack block for me. No, I had a few choc bunnies. Okay, fair enough. I just living my best life with the pineapple eggs. I actually think they're the only Easter eggs I had this year. But I have such a big quantity of them, so that's fine. The movie canon. Hi, Helen. Hello. How are you? Happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. Roberto. Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Good evening to me. Orange and dark chocolate is so good. I know I'm weird. Look, I'm probably the weird one on this. I know there's a lot of people who like that combination. And as I said, I love orange, like orange and poppy seed, or a lot of times like an orange syrup cake or something like that, like an orange tea cake. Like, I'm down, but just something about orange and chocolate, it just doesn't float. We all have different tastes. As a kid, I loved getting jumbo eggs and breaking them on my head. True story. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. Agree, hate orange chocolate. Okay, I'm not alone. This is good to know. The Bro Collector, my foundation member. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. That's exactly what we say. We cover all the peoples with good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Goodness, guys. I'm going to get into the slides. I have a few slides. And I'm probably going to be a bit of a broken record to start this stream, but it needs to be said. No orange and chocolate for me. Okay, I'm definitely not alone. As I said, like, orange and, like, ginger chocolate is really nice. Like, I really like ginger chocolate, chili chocolate, the fruit and nut with chocolate. Like, I'm down, but I don't know. There's something about orange. And I like dark chocolate as well. That's probably my preferred chocolate in most instances. Oh my God, Ash, have you tried in Australia? And I don't know if this is called the same in any other place in the world. Like Neapolitan. There's a Neapolitan Kit Kat. So Neapolitan is like the ice cream tub, where you get like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. So in Australia, they call that Neapolitan ice cream. And they have done a Neapolitan Kit Kat, and it is so good. And I typically don't like white chocolate. But the Kit Kat, it's like milk chocolate on the bottom, and then it's alternating on the top of the rows, strawberry and then white chocolate. So you have to eat 2 rows at a time to get the full Neapolitan thing. They are so good. I've had to ban myself from buying them because I'm just living my best life with the Neapolitan Kit Kats. You guys are missing out. No, we're just leaving more for you, Mike. You should be happy. There's just more orange chocolate for you. You're a typical Greek Aussie. All the Greek families I knew owned a fruit and veggie or a deli. Their kids hated it because they were made to work there. Yeah, that was my childhood, man. Like, seriously, my parents had a supermarket and then they had a coffee lounge later on. And 100%, a lot of slave labor in my childhood. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, it was only my immediate family here in Australia. Like, my whole extended family is in Greece. So it was like mum, dad, me, and my brother. So it was, tiny hands can do intricate jobs. But yeah, it's a typical Australian migrant story. It is what it is. My parents worked super hard to give me so much. So I'm not going to complain that I had to do a little bit of work as a kid. It is what it is. No, I haven't. The ice cream, yes. You should try the Neapolitan Kit Kat. It is so good, Ash. It is really good. Sharon's back. Hey, Helen, hope you're doing good. So are you feeling like your Hot Toys Star Wars you feeling like you're on Hot Toys Star Wars overload? Also, how do you feel? It seems like some figures like Sith Apprentice may not come to some markets. I 5,000% feel like it's Star Wars overload. And did I have a little meltdown last? Yes. Do you know what got me? Everything's been so Star Wars dominated, and then people going, what are we getting for May the 4th? And I'm like, you're getting a lump of coal for May the 4th because you're getting everything and it's not enough. The world is not enough for some people. The Sith Apprentice thing, it's interesting. I don't love this scenario that we're in where things are so limited and most of the people who are getting them to flip and people having to pay exorbitant prices. But then are things really exclusive? Like, I'm still questioning why we haven't gotten a sculpted Anakin. Is that coming? Are exclusives even exclusives anymore? We're going to talk about that a bit later in the stream. But I really would much prefer, I think this is the thing I do like about the way InArt does things. They give you a month, you pre-order, you're in. I think that's a nicer way to do it. Or my other thing I've always said is, like, if it's got to be super limited, why can't there be allocations to different regions? Because the issue we've always had here in Australia is that Sideshow gets their allocation and they keep them all for themselves. They never then, okay, we're going to give a couple to Colt, we're going to give a couple here, we're going to give a couple there. So it's very rare for us to even get them in Australia. I think the only, I guess, what you call exclusives of recent time that I can remember us getting at pop culture is we got Blue Bailman, and the one that shocked me even more was we got Imposter Joker, which I was not expecting. But even things like a John Wick special edition, like that wasn't an option for me to buy here in Australia. So I do wish there was a different way. And this is where I'm getting a little bit of a feeling like, does Hot Toys really care about the international market outside of just, distributing to Sideshow? Because these things don't make me feel like they do. And I'm not into Star Wars, but I felt for people last week when there was so many photos of people with their stacks of Hot Toys. And even we had a guy in an Australian group, he's flipping an Anakin, he's flipping 2 of the what I call the sleepover stormtroopers, he's flipping 2 of the Galen Ursos. And there's just a part of me who's like, I hate this system, but I hate that and I get they're within their rights to do that. I said that last week, but I hate that as society, that's where our mind goes. Like for me, if I'm not interested in something, I'm not buying it. But it happens with shoes, with concert tickets, with PlayStations, whatever it is, people just buying to flip. And I'm just not a fan. And I just really wish we could have a better way of people being able to access these exclusives. I feel like the only people who are really winning at the moment are the resellers who are getting these things and jacking up the price, and then, you know, they're profiteering. And I just look at Hot Toys and I'm like, you know, this happens, and it just doesn't strike me that they care. And that kind of disappoints me a bit that they don't care. So yeah, I have lots of feelings, and we'll talk a bit about that in the Trooper section as well. But yeah, I because even with Batman, like First Night Out Batman, that was a convention exclusive back in the day. And then they 2.0'd it, and it's just sitting around in stock. So yeah, I totally feel the frustration of what's happening with this stuff. Collection obsession, orange and chocolate, not a good combo for me. Oh, it feels like quite a few people are agreeing with me. In Italy, we have a dark chocolate candy bar with different nougats and spike with Italian liqueurs. So good. Ooh, I do love a good nougat. So maybe I would be, maybe that would be of interest to me. Oh goodness, so many comments. You tell them, Helen, where's my Gambit, by the way? Where's Gambit and Electra, man? Seriously, like I'm really surprised we're in almost May and they haven't announced them as yet. Like I really thought they would have been quick to announce the rest of the Resistance. That surprises me as well, 100%. Miss Batwoman, say happy Friday and Saturday, everyone. 100%. I hope you're having a great day. I meant the Range Trooper leaves you wondering, since I got the solo one, but I mean the Andor version, they will actually sell more. But this is, yeah, and I mean, I totally get what you're saying, is that was limited figure. Some people probably paid a lot of money to get that, and then, lol, here it is, we're pretty much bringing it out under a different banner. Like, it's, like, I can understand why people would get frustrated with that. And this is where, like, I know the FOMO hits hard in collecting, but there's a part of me who's like, does it just come back to patience and just being patient? Because, and someone said this with the Galen Erso figure, which I agree with, of they're not going to this effort to produce this head sculpt to just make, what was it, 2,500 units? Like, they've got to be doing something else with it. And I have to think it's the same with Anakin. Like, I can't think they're only doing those versions. Like, surely there's a sculpted, surely there's something else coming down the track. Like, I can't think they've gone to all that effort for such a low volume of figures. I can't think that's the case. Kevin's here. Good morning, Helen. First time catching you live. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Friday. Catch the rest on replay. Oh, thank you for dropping by, Kevin. Kevin, he always comments and watches the replay. And thank you for coming to say hello live. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. We've got some chat between peeps. It's a business model that is working for them. Well, I mean, you could be selling more. You could be selling more units and not helping other people profiteer. I don't know. I think there's a part of it that is like, how much do you value your customers? And I like Hot Toys, but there's times where I ask myself that question. I'm getting a Sith Apprentice, but I got lucky. Friend was there and picked me up one. That is very lucky. I just wish they announced, like you said, a sculpted version or Apprentice or Artisan Anakin. Well, first of all, you're very lucky, and you're very lucky to have a friend who I'm hoping has not charged you some markup for it. But this was the other thing that got me about the con, the fact that typically it's limited to one figure per person, but it wasn't in this instance. And I think this is where you saw, as I say, this guy in Australia, he bought 6 figures and was flipping 5 of them on Australian Facebook groups, and he was still in Tokyo. And he was even saying, I'm posting them from Tokyo. I don't want to have to drag these back to Australia. So this is where it gets a bit frustrating, because I know there's so many people who would have really liked the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper, Anakin, if they'd missed out on the Artisan. And it just feels like there's got to be a better way to do this stuff. And I can totally understand having some stuff at the con first, some limited numbers there, but surely there's a better way these things can be done. That's what I think anyway. Mr. J, hey, morning collectors, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. Mike says, this is why I'm not worried about that recent Bucky release. Remember, that's going to be a general release for sure based on this. Well, I mean, I just, I hope so for people. I did pre-order the Artisan with a reseller, which I know was a risky thing to do. I just like when they announce it all at one time, and that's where I think of like Jack Sparrow. They announced the Artisan, the Deluxe, and the Standard. A lot of other Artisan figures. You've had Standard and you've had the Sculpted and the Artisan at the same time. I just don't get why you wouldn't offer Sculpted, like unless it's going to be some super limited. We're just doing Artisan. It's going to be a limited number. But I would have thought for like characters that people need in their collection. And this is where I think Costa had that really good point of if you're going to have something in really limited numbers, like it's ideal to have something that's not a must-have to complete a line. So something like the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper is good in that regard, because if you don't have that in your collection, no one's looking at a Star Wars, they're going, oh, it's great, but you don't have that Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. So I agree in that sense. Like some of the like repaints we've gotten for like the Arkham figures, I think the Imposter Joker, like I can totally live with those being, it's 5,000 and that's what all they're doing. But the things that are a figure for a collection, and they've done the Steve. They're doing the 2.0 Steve. So then to make Bucky Artisan only at this stage, yeah, it's odd to me. And I just wish, just announce them at the same time. That's what I'd love to see. Even if the Artisan here is limited, I wish they'd make sculpted versions so more people can get the sculpts. It would be the same like they did Avengers Thor or Tony Stark. Yeah, I don't get why they're not doing that. And this is what gets me, like Anakin, you know, I'm not into the Star Wars, but I know that's a very big character. So to have 2 releases where it's just Artisan, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Like I don't understand the logic behind that. Luminara is here. Hey guys. Hey Lumi, how are you? Happy Friday. Thank you for coming by. Even Sideshow's been doing more than one per person. What's up with that? I thought that was with Bucky because there was a standard edition and a special edition for the Artisan, and I think that was around the Captain America shield. And I'm trying to remember, did they let people have both, or did they go back and say to people, actually, you need to pick one or the other? Because I thought that was the little glitch with Bucky, was that because there was 2 SKUs to it that some people were like, oh, I got the special one and just the normal one without the Captain America shield. Oh, no, it's marked up what I'm paying, but it's helping him to make his expenses for traveling, so I'm okay with that. I don't know. I look at this guy in Australia, I'm like, he's wanting people to pay his airfares, accommodation, his whole trip to Japan. No love for Disco Vader. Is that the battling effect Vader? He just needs a chopper and a Red Bull and he'd be perfect. Crazy, yeah, I was able to snag a Cherry Blossom with the robe, paid a nice coin for it, but thought it was a gorgeous artistic piece and part of Hot Toys history, not to mention the missus really wanted it. Well, if you really want it, you really want it. I can understand that. But I think that being exclusive in numbers, I think it's more palatable given it's not a main character. It's not something that's essential to a collection. Like, it's nice to have, don't get me wrong. But as I said, I think you're not going, oh, my line from this movie can never be complete because they only made 5,000 of this and I could not get one. So that's where I think things like Battling Effect Vader, things like the Cherry Blossom Trooper, I think them being limited, I don't mind so much. I think it's as I said, something like Galen Erso, which I'm assuming is going to come out in some other, my understanding from what people are saying is he's in other properties. So yeah, I hope he comes out in some other form for people. It's going to be crazy when Annie goes up on Sideshow. I'm talking Bloodbath 100%. And what gets me as well, Ash, is like with Bucky, some people queued up and got him in cart and then discovered, sorry, we won't ship to your area, which would just be devastating. Like to go through all that and think, oh my God, I'm checking out, I'm going to get this figure. And then they're like, lol, joke's on you, no. Like that to me is like, oh, just rubbing salt into the wounds. It's so sad. Now that you've mentioned the 2.0 of the stealth suit, Steve, makes me think of the split between 000 and BT1. You know who I'm talking about, Helen. That wasn't fair. I'm starting to rethink things. I don't know what those things are. Apologies. But I'm going to have some of my tea before it gets too cold because it was too hot before. But one moment, please. It's at a perfect temperature right now, which means it's going to get stone cold soon, which is going to make me sad. Guys, has anybody seen William Wang? Where's William Wang, guys? Missing since the 25th of March, 2025. And you guys, if you've been here before, you're like, Helen, we know. Why are you still beating this drum? Because I still see people making posts on Reddit going, one man's hobby, is this a safe website to buy from? And people going, yes, it is. And I'm like, no, it is not. If you want a reliable seller who's going to communicate with you, I personally don't believe that's William Wang anymore. Dude has been missing from his group for a month. And that's after being missing from his group for about 7 or 8 weeks. So the guy's pretty much been AWOL from his own Facebook group for most of 2025. I'm still perplexed that people are asking if this is a reliable website. I'm still perplexed that there's people just blindly defending the guy. And from what I've seen, I'm not seeing people calling this out like on a YouTube sense. And I know William's the kind of person that gives people free figures to promote his website and his Facebook group. So that's cool. Some people, they're all out the deals. Fine. You do you. This is my channel. This is my space. And I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like seeing people asking where he is. I don't like people saying they've had figures that are long released and this guy's not sent their figure. They can't get him to respond to a message. So I can't believe, again this week, people asking the question about one man's hobby and William Wang. Are they safe? I respectfully don't think they are. I also hope that people who have pre-orders with him do get their stuff, but it's not looking good. And I even looked on the ASIC website. His business name registration has expired, and it doesn't look like he's renewed it. Like, I checked, it expired last month. And I don't know if there's a lag in the records being updated. I did try to find out. But if it had been renewed, I feel like it would have been updated a month later to say, no, they've renewed their business registration. So that's another thing that concerns me, because renewing your business name is quick and cheap. It's pretty low effort. I know. I have business names. You get an email, you go on to ASIC, you pay like $100 for 3 years or whatever it is, and off you go. So for that to not even be paid, to me, this doesn't sound like a guy who's engaged in the business. So, quick history lesson. Guy went missing, group imploded, pitchforks out, people posting his phone number and address. By the way, that address is publicly listed. I found it with 0 effort on the ASIC website. And then he came back with this message. No apology, no explanation. to me, not showing any actual respect for his customers that he's blanked. And remember, we had people who were waiting for expensive replacement parts for statues that weren't getting responses. We had people who bought display cabinets from this guy that had broken and damaged pieces, and he wasn't getting back to them. And then he was making them like pay part of the postage cost to get the replacement part back. What? Are you kidding me? So it's all been kicking on in this post again. And there's another post from today, again, questioning where is William, that's had something like 60-something comments. And I didn't screen cap the whole lot. I just screen capped a few from this post just to give you guys a flavor and a reminder about what's going on with this website. So a week ago, becoming a joke again, William, asking us to trust you and everything will be sorted out. Well, it's been another month, mate. WTF is going on? Great question. By the way, because it's a private group, I have blanked out people's names because to respect their privacy. So this guy, has anyone had an invoice for Superior Spider-Man yet? He's been out some time now, and I'm sure main batch must have landed. Was told a few weeks, then end of last month or early mid this month, but heard nothing. Sent a message, but not read yet. I've tried the website before, but they don't reply to me. The website is his mum, by the way. His poor mum's there, like, defending him and trying to keep this business going. Where's your son? Where's your son? So this guy's asking, did you get a reply? Facebook Messenger says he was online around 6 hours ago. I'm still waiting on a reply for a question I sent about Artisan Anagon about a week ago. Mate, keep waiting. I know my last PM I sent to him took a month. Nope, sent the message 10 days ago and it's not been seen yet. Guy's not even reading messages. This was my favorite comment. William Wang seems to have more deaths and resurrections here than Christ himself. Again, people not being contacted and him DICKing folks around. I hope this comes right, but goodwill is gone. I've contacted his website, but I ain't expecting much. I think you and others are well within your rights to be concerned. I've also got 4 pre-orders with him and already of the kind that I've lost those deposits. Oh, I think he means already of the mind that I've lost those deposits. I think it's appalling that he's ghosting folk, yet his site's still happily running and no doubt taking pre-order cash still. And that's my concern. He's got this website running and he's taking POs for like JazzInc Catwoman and other expensive figures. I don't know that he's going to be able to deliver on any of this stuff. This guy, absolutely. I'd have sworn he was the best in the game a year ago. Sad where we are, really. It's very sad. Facebook messages ignored. Again. Inquiries via the website ignored. Again. Ahsoka has been shipping via other sites for a fortnight now. WTAF is happening with my order, William Wang. Seems he is missing again. Not the way to run a business. I'm bailing on him over it. Just want what's owed now and I'm out. Well, I hope you get what's owed to your friend. Get your money back and run. Yeah, if you can. Because Lord knows the guys are not given refunds. And this is what cracks me up because you've still got a few of the loyalists that are like blindly defending him. And this was a comment this guy made when William made his first resurrection. Everyone out here doubting you and I was just sipping tea knowing you was just living life. I've been waiting for something for over a year and he's effed me over for a few $1,000s. Wow. Someone telling him to do a bank claim. And then again, the great defender. Is it a pre-order or an actual item that's been released? Long released. There's this like handful of people in that group that just blindly defend the guy to no end. And I'm just like, seriously? Like, how can you look at how absent this dude's been? And as I say, like, I know people who have said to him, like, you need to communicate. You need to talk to people. It's like, it'll be okay. And I'm like, do you really think it's going to be okay that you have pretty much been missing from your Facebook group? I would say 3 of the 4 months of the year. Like, I don't think that's good. I think it's a concern. And I think people are seeing these comments of no customer service, of losing replacement parts, of getting damaged things, of not getting responses. It doesn't bode well for you, sir. It really doesn't. I'm blown away by some YouTubers getting this artisan Anakin and paying $1,200 for it when it's guaranteed to be released again. Well, I mean, that's the FOMO, broke collector. That's the FOMO. And I just can't think there's not going to be a sculpted version of this Anakin. I really can't. 100%. This happened to me a lot. That's why I don't use Sideshow anymore. I'm guessing that's the geo restriction thing. Love this when they put YouTubers on the back of a milk carton because they've been missing in action or got thrown into a black van. Yeah, I mean, someone can use my template if they want. Sure, it's here. Hello, little one. I'm sorry, I'm watching the stream on my phone, so it's hard for me to see what that says. Does it say one man's moron? It can't be. No, it's one man's hobby. That's let me go back. Hobby. So this is William Wang's logo / the profile picture he uses on Facebook. Hence why I've used it in this format as a missing persons poster, because where is the dude? Where is the dude? We don't know. We don't know. Helen, you stole Have You Seen This Man from Deadpool? Look, I probably stole it from somewhere. I'm not saying that I invented the phrase. It's okay, Helen. Some people doesn't like to talk. Hello, Noble Young. I don't know if that's in relation to William or something else. Wow. Yeah, I agree. That's how I feel about this whole scenario. Big Rips here. Hi, Helen. Open my DK sculpted Joker. Oh my God, you're going to love it when you get yours. Oh. So I'm still waiting. Apparently, by Shuri. Apparently, the Joker is going to be in stock with the Australian distributor on the 30th of April, all things going well. So I'm hoping mine's not too far away, because I feel like everyone has it but me at this point, and that makes me sad. Deaths and resurrections. I know, right? But it's true. It made me laugh, because the guy just goes missing and just appears again like nothing happened. And it's like, oh, okay, hi, welcome back. Don't tell us where you were. Leave it to the community to go and call out these businesses running shady AF. Get so tired of people taking advantage of collectors. But that's the thing, Mr. J. Like, I'm not seeing people calling him out. And again, I don't watch every YouTube channel. Like, I physically don't have enough hours in the day. But I don't feel like I'm seeing people talking about the fact that this guy has just become incredibly unreliable and is really leaving his customers in the lurch. So I feel like this is the third or fourth time I'm bringing this up in the stream. And every time I see these posts on Reddit, I'm just like, first of all, search. For the love of God, search. But then, like, people still just, no, he's reputable. He's great. It's like, no, he's actually not. He's actually not great. Do not recommend. Hello, Helen. Do you think any legal action can be taken against this seller? Look, I don't know about legal action. I think it is just about, if you're not feeling comfortable with the situation, trying to get your money back if you can. Whether that's a chargeback, whether what that is. As I said, there's still a very small group of people in that group claiming they're getting stuff and claiming everything's fine and there's nothing to worry about. But the consensus with most people is that things are not great. And this is the hard thing, because sometimes, I know he really tries to push for PayPal friends and family, bank deposits. That can make things a bit harder. So this is where I know for me, I typically don't pre-order hot toys with resellers. I don't have that trust. So legal action, I don't know. But as I said, I just feel like these things are adding up. And even like the business name not being renewed last time I checked, like that's another little red flag for me on this situation. William Wang must have worked at Toys Wonderland previously. Well, you need to go with someone you trust, like I go with Pop Culture. I've used them over a year, have gotten every figure I ordered. I wait longer than most, like Helen, but I get everything I pay for. Problem 100%. I get customer service. They look after me. I've had nothing but good experiences with Pop Culture. I bought my first hot toy from them like in 2014. Like, I've been a pretty regular customer of theirs. I've had good experiences, and I've always said, like, I'll wait that bit longer because I know I'm going to get it. They're not going anywhere. They've been in business for like more than 30 years. As far as collectible stores in Australia, I don't know that there's a bigger or more reputable one. And postage is free. That's why I've been looking for a figure online, and like, I know what I paid for John Wick and for Sideshow, and the postage was a lot. And I've had some American websites be like, "Oh, you want a figure posted to Australia? $150 please." And I'm like, respectfully, no. That's almost as much as the figure. I'm not doing that. So this is pop culture. It's free postage, as I say, like reward points, pre-order discounts. Like for me, yeah, for things I can get from them, I don't know why I wouldn't just get it from them, because I know I'm in good hands. Bobby Dillon's here. That's really striking evidence. Great detective work. Thank you. But no. Some random dude on Reddit says he's totally safe to buy from. I cannot with these people. So again, if you've got friends in the community, I'm thinking of ordering from One Man's Hobby, do let them know that there's some smoke, and we all know what happens where there's smoke. So, as I said, if I'm wrong, great. But as I said, it wouldn't sit well with me to see all these things happening and not give people a warning. Because as I said, there's stuff that you can't get on other websites that he's got on his, and it becomes very tempting. And because a lot of people have mentioned him, you got a lot of YouTubers who've gotten some free figures. They're promoting William Wang. With that comes a perception of, oh, yeah, this must be a good person to deal with. Please be careful. All right. Enough of William Wang. I'm so sick of talking about that guy. This is how William Wang makes me feel in his dramas. Where are you, dude? Run your business. So we know when Hot Toys gives us a product update, it means a figure's pretty close to being released. So I think early next week we'll probably see this. It's the Feral Predator. Do I watch Predator and know a lot about this? No, I don't. But Howie Claus tells me he's refined the rubber hair and that he's updated the body to seamless. And this feels like good stuff. Hopefully the seamless is durable. And it's impressive that they've gone seamless, because this skin has a lot going on. Is it skin? I don't even know what you call it. But it's nice, and it's not the only figure they updated. So it's good to see that we are getting some refinements to some of these releases. I don't know. Are people into the Predator? I don't know. I'm not. I've never seen a Predator movie. You're shocked. I know. Guys, there's some hope for DC fans. I'm not a huge Superman girl, but this did make me excited that maybe Howie Claus is going to start showing DC a little bit more love than what we're getting at the moment, which is pretty much nothing. So we got this little teaser for Superman. Of course, Superman movie's coming out in the next couple of months. I did like that we got this little teaser. I do like when Hot Toys gives us this little, no, we're going to do something. Don't worry, it's coming. It's quite interesting. I think there's been some criticism about this suit online, which I don't particularly understand, because when we see photos, we never know, is there some color grading? Is there some kind of special effects or whatever that's going to be layered over the top of this suit? I personally didn't really have it. Like, I was not offended by the Superman costume the way some people seem to be. And I do think this looks cool. Like, I do like that it's a bit more of a vibrant blue compared to the Henry Cavill suits. I think it looks like quite an interesting design. So I'm keen to see what this looks like. I'm keen to see what else we maybe get from this movie. But I just, as I said, as a DC collector, I just felt like, okay, Hot Toys is they're a bit invested in this new James Gunn era, and hopefully this means for future properties we will get some figures. Mike says, honestly, they should save the You're One Ugly for the feral predator. He is the bottom of the barrel ugly. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to lie. It's a hard picture to look at. And if the movie's a lot of that, I'm kind of glad I haven't seen it because it was a bit of a jarring picture to see when I opened up my timeline and saw he was there. But I did think it was cool because I don't think they make a lot of Predator figures. I think certainly in my time on YouTube, I don't feel like they've made a lot of Predator figures. So the fact that they have gone in to make refinements and improvement, I think is really good. I did get to see the Alien and Predator figures when I went to Secret Base last year. And even though they are a bit older, like they were impressive to me, I have to say. I thought they looked pretty cool. But yeah, Superman. I mean, I think I've already said, like, I'm very hopeful that maybe down the line we get a Millie Alcock Supergirl, the Aussie. That would be nice. That would make me happy. I don't know if we'll get it from this movie, but apparently there is a Supergirl movie, I think, coming down the line. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I love when we get these little teasers. I think it's really cool. Oh goodness, all the emojis. We got kissing, a rabbit, facepalm, peace, poodle, poof, poo, superhero poo. I'm not good at riddles, so not going to pretend to know that I can decipher what that means, but hello. A lot of people prejudging Superman, but we need to give it a chance. Yeah, this is my thing, Anthony. Like, so many people just jump to conclusions, and I couldn't believe, like, they released that one photo and people were just, and I'm like, oh, it's not just hot codes collectors. It seems to be just a thing where everyone rips into stuff. I just feel like you've got to see it on the screen. You've got to see it in the final format in the way they intended us to see it. But even that photo, I looked at it and I went, I don't understand what's meant to be so offensive about this suit and this picture. I don't know. But as I said, I like the fact that we're going to get some new DC stuff because, as we're going to talk about later on, they make Black Manta from Aquaman and not Aquaman. Like, that to me is a bit perplexing. We got to get that Supergirl figure for sure. I hope so. I really do. I really would love to get a good Supergirl figure by Hot Toys. Excited for DCU figures. Already have a new display just waiting. Oh, that's cool. I need to work out what I'm doing with my display. At one point this week, I was like getting rid of everything and getting new glass cabinets. I can't make my mind up as to what I want to do. So, Diaper Man. Isn't that most superheroes though that have their jocks on out the front? Goodness, what's this? Bunny facepalm laughing thumbs up. Sure, why not? So yeah, a few positive things in the future for DC fans, we hope. If they want to do some Thunderbolt teasers as well, I'm totally down for that. I'm looking forward to that movie. I think it's next week. It comes out next week. Oh my goodness, I've got to get tickets. I need to go see that. I just want a Millie Alcock Supergirl. Me too. If not from this movie, hopefully from her own later on. Guys, the Range Trooper. As I call it, the trooper with the fur. I hoped he had boots with the fur, but he doesn't. He's just got a beautiful fur coat. Mike says, don't worry, Helen, I'm not good at deciphering emoji codes either. Don't take me to your quiz night, your escape room, your anything. I'm just good for bringing snacks and a lack of Star Wars knowledge. Yes, Thunderbolts. Yeah, I'm hoping Thunderbolts will be really good. I received the bold Deadpool sculpt from Present Toys. Looks great. Oh, that's cool. A lot of people seem super happy with that sculpt, which is nice because third-party head sculpts can be hit and miss. Pimp Trooper, fair enough. AKA Lady Gaga. I don't know what that means. I'm not a Lady Gaga person. Look, guys. Range Trooper from Andor. He came out from something else. Do I know what that something else is? No, of course not. If you're new here, I don't do the Star Wars. But Miss Allison, who I call Darth Allison, she does the Star Wars. And everybody was like, oh my God, I bet Miss Allison's going to be so annoyed. This was exclusive and they've done it again. She's going to be annoyed. Miss Allison was stoked because she missed out on the first one. And she wanted the trooper with the fur and she missed out and she was devastated. So she's saying to me, this is like when they made Andor not from Andor. I can get the trooper with the fur from Andor, but pretend it's from the other thing and happy days. So Miss Allison was quite happy to get a second chance. And I think this is the interesting predicament that we're in. Like, we all want, I feel like there's a lot of people who want things that are rare and exclusive until they miss out. And when they miss out, they're more than happy to get the 2.0 or the reissue or the same, slightly different, but the fur might be a different tint of white or whatever color that is. So I do think it's an interesting time that we're in. And I feel like my view is kind of becoming that, is anything really exclusive? Like, if you're not getting some kind of numbered certificate of this is trooper with the fur, 100 of 1,000, like, I don't know that you can think things are limited, because I can't think, you know, Hot Toys is a business that I think needs to manufacture at scale. I can't think they're happy with going, yep, like 2,500, whatever's, that's it. We're never doing them again. Because I think if they were taking that approach, I think they'd have to sell the figures for a lot more than what they're doing. So, as I say, I think it's interesting. I think people who miss out, they're more than happy to get that second go. And I've been in that scenario. I missed out on Infinity War 4 the first time around, and that was going for crazy prices. So when Howie 2.0, that bad boy, reissued, I was stoked. People who had it probably weren't stoked, but for someone like me who wasn't going to get it and then change their mind, I thought that was amazing. So I think, you know, the thing I know from Allison is troopers are a big deal. People like troopers. I don't particularly get it because a lot of them are faceless and have no names. But they're a big deal to the Star Wars Trek Gate folk. So if this is something you need and it's an important part of a line, I do like that people are getting another shot. But I can completely understand that if you've paid a premium to get this, you thought it was limited, I can totally understand that viewpoint. Allison's stoked. She wants to army build troopers with the fur, and this is now what she wants on the BBBDs, the big bloody beautiful dewbacks. She wants trooper fur on the dewback. And I'm like, I do whatever you want. Just be quiet about it. I don't want to know. The trooper with the fur, or maybe he has a cat on his shoulder. Oh, if it was a cat on his shoulder, I think I'd be a bit more interested in the figure, to be honest. If it's not a clone, I'm good. The Cherry Blossom was my first Stormtrooper outside of clones, trying to stay in my lane to help save money. God, do I even know what the difference is between a trooper and a clone? Probably not. I've probably mixed terminology, and that's fine. Probably not to some, but it's fine to me. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all got to be a bit mindful of what we're buying. There's just too much stuff being released to buy everything nowadays, I think. I'm going to sit down and watch the first 3 Andor episodes this weekend, but this definitely piques my interest. I'm surprised they're bringing back the solo troopers. Don't know what that means. Mr. J, this is a nice one if you did miss out the first time. Here a lot of people are gunning for this one because it reminds me of what was that other one? I call it Traffic Signal Trooper. You know, the black and high-vis yellow, and it had 3 sculpts. And that was super limited, and that upset people. Like, is that, like that might come back. That might come back down the line. I don't know if something else it's in something else, because I don't do the Star Wars, guys. Don't ask me. Whenever release, it's exclusive, then nothing is. I just don't know what is exclusive, because this is the thing. Because I mean, I think we all thought things like the convention exclusives, like the summer convention exclusives they did, like we'll never see them reissued. We'll never see 2.0s of those. Like they're super limited. That's it. But as I said, we've seen that with the first night out Bruce Wayne. I feel like we've seen that with other things now. So I think things as exclusive, I kind of feel like take it a little bit with a grain of salt nowadays. I say, unless it's a numbered thing, which I think, was there one gold Iron Man they did that was numbered? I'm trying to remember if Hot Toys has done numbered before. I just don't know that you can think something like this is just going to be super exclusive. Like, I think particularly for something like Star Wars, like if stuff is appearing in multiple properties, I have to think that they'll come back down. Apple-bottom jeans trooper with the fur, 100%. 100%. That was the Umbra trooper. That's the one. As I say, traffic sign trooper. It's fine. It's fine. Umbra trooper, black and yellow one. But I just remember everyone was going crazy about that. It's super limited and people wanted multiple because of the different head sculpts and all that. Will that come back again? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, I meant every release. That was a play on the quote from the Incredibles movie. When every release is exclusive, then nothing is. Well, I mean, I feel Hot Toys is really pumping that exclusive angle. And I feel like, you know, let's be honest, we had such a glut of figures around Endgame that weren't moving and no one was pre-ordering. They were hoping everything was going to be bargain basement. And so many people were going, never pre-order again, just buy things in the bargain bin. And I mean, it's clever from Hot Toys' perspective to do artisan, to do exclusive. It's flipped the game on its head. And I feel like we don't see things sitting around as much as we did. But then I have to think at the same time, as I said, if they're putting so much money into making head sculpts for the first time, I can't think they're just doing 2,500 and that's it. Certainly exclusive is only marketing these days. I think so too, Aaron, 100%. As I said, unless you're getting something, a numbered plate that says you've got number one of however many, we don't know how many they're making. There's no way for us to know whether, you know, they say it's 2.5, if they stick to that or not. Like, how would we know? Like, we've got no way of possibly knowing. So this is the trooper. He has fur. He's got some guns. Some big guns. Is that a bazooka? I don't know. I don't know what this is. But yeah, it's from Andor now. Where was the other one from? Was it Clone Wars? I don't know. Allison told me. Was I listening? Of course I wasn't listening. She was talking about Star Wars. It's another go. As I said, and I think that's the thing, you know, when these exclusives or artisans come up, I think it's such an individual decision as to whether you're prepared to spend that much. Are you willing to kind of run the gauntlet to see if there's an opportunity to get this in another SKU? These are personal questions that I think we can only answer at an individual level. Like if someone wants to pay $1,200 for that Anakin because it's that important to them, like that's where I'm like, it's your money, it's your decision. Like I wouldn't pay $1,200 for a single Hot Toys figure. Like that's way. I bought vehicles for that. To buy a standalone Hot Toys figure for that price, I don't think I would do that. But as I say, people have different budgets, different collecting. You know, Star Wars might be super important to that person. So that's their decision. If they're happy, well then who am I to question it? First one was from Solo. I said that right. I totally knew it was from Solo. Helen, I love your descriptions, but I'm sorry, your future in sales is dim. Look, how dare you? I work in communications and marketing. I'm so good at my job, guys. I clearly am just not selling Star Wars in my job. Otherwise, I would be screwed, particularly if I was having to work for commission. I would be out on the streets with a little Shuri like singing for my supper, but I'm not, so it's fine. So guys, what do you get with the Range Trooper? So apparently, first edition exclusive, interchangeable, what does it say? Griptian boots. I don't even know if I've said that correctly. I probably haven't. That's fine. So he's got his special boot, not with fur. He's got his guns, pew pew. He's got some hands. He's got a pretty typical Star Wars rectangular display base. And he's got that beautiful fur. What more do you want? What more do you want? It's fine. Range Trooper. Tell your friends. Okay, to clarify, your future in Star Wars merchandise sales is dim. Oh, I know that. I touched a lightsaber from Acolyte, and like the show got cancelled like a few days later. Like, you don't want me in your fandom. Like, just ask Bob. Bob's the one who made me hold it. Blame Bob. Bob got Acolyte cancelled, everyone. Tell your friends. Luffy. Is it One Piece? I always get the name of this thing wrong because clearly I don't watch it. But Luffy's out from One Piece. They updated the head sculpt on this, which I thought was cool. I think the sad thing about this is the visible joints. My goodness. I have views on this, of course. Because this makes me think this is one and done. They're doing one Luffy figure and that's it. I think the shame for me is, given the nature of this outfit, all the visible seams really take away, I think, from the aesthetic. Because even in this photo, we can see wrists, we can see elbows, we can see the shoulder. Then if I go to this next picture, knees, ankle, like this outfit really has a lot of the body exposed. So I think it's a shame that we perhaps didn't get some swap out seamless arms at a minimum to give that aesthetic. So if you wanted to pose him up, you've got the jointed arms, you can do that. But I just think, why not have, at a minimum, some swap out arms, maybe some swap out silicone arms, or some swap out pre-posed arms like we're getting with Artisan Winter Soldier. His mechanical arm, there's going to be pre-posed versions of that arm. I just think it's a shame, and this is where I do wonder, is it not willing to make that investment because we're only making this once? Like, this reminded me a bit of Gore from Love and Thunder, right? Like, a lot of people were annoyed about the visible joints. And I went, well, hang on, if Gore's a one-time villain in a movie that we know had a very mixed response, I can understand Hot Toys not wanting to invest a whole bunch of money to develop that body. Whereas if Gore was like a recurring character that was going to be in a lot of movies, then totally I could understand Hot Toys going, right, we're going to get 3 goes at this guy. We're going to spend the money now or develop the body because we know we can use this down the track. So this is where I have to wonder, is that why they've just not gone with the seamless body? Because as I said, it is a shame because you look at all these promo pictures and there's a lot of dynamic poses for the guy and your eye does go to those joints. 100%. Like every pose you see, you're just seeing all these visible joints, which I think is not what we expect from Hot Toys in 2025. As I said, I feel like swap out arms would have been a not too difficult thing to offer. I so doubt this is a guy, lol. I don't know what that's about, Ash. Yeah, no interest in this. I've never seen one episode of the 20 plus seasons of this show. 20 seasons, really? Goodness, I'm so out of the loop. This figure is embarrassing considering what Hot Toys is capable of. This was a huge IP as well. Oh, interesting. Well, I didn't realize how big the IP was, but for me, I kind of looked at this and thought, you clearly have no intention of doing anything with this again that you've not invested in a body or at least some swap out arms. I watched an unboxing of this. All the joints, etc., make it look bad. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Well, like even the knees and the ankles, like his feet, like you can see, it's probably not the best picture, but you can see ankle joint, you can see knee joint with the shorts, like every single joint is visible. And I think it is a shame. Like they went to all that effort to update the head sculpt, and then they're like, no, but we're going to leave all the seams on the body. That's fine. No one will mind. Any Stellar Blade fans in here? Any chance of Hot Toys making Eve, is it Tachi? I don't know, or Raven asking for a friend? I hope they make it for you. Even the ankles are really visible. 100% they are. It's really, it's not great. This reminds me of Stretch Armstrong, and that actually stretched. Eve is a day one pre-order. I don't know what that is. Over 1,000 episodes. It's anime. Wow. Goodness me. As I said, I'm probably not familiar with it. I don't watch a lot of anime, but that was the thing that stood out to me. Just these joints, which I think is a shame. Like this outfit, minimum swap out arms would have been a minimum for me. Have jointed arms for posing and articulation, but then have some nice seamless arms that you can use, or some pre-pose. Like if he's got, if this is his signature hand gesture, then have pre-posed arms that people can swap in, have that nice seamless look. Because I think, like, let's be honest, there's not a lot to look at. So your eye does go to the joints, and it's a bit of a shame that this to me feels like a Hot Toys 2015 figure. This gives me a little bit of the like Avengers 1 Hawkeye, where you've got the very visible arm joints. Like this is not what I expect from them in 2025. So it's a shame. Guys, is it a trooper? Is it a clone? It's Commander Rex. Important enough to get a name, not important enough to get a head sculpt in this instance. And have they not made Rex before? I feel like they've made Rex before, but with a head sculpt. Could I be completely wrong? Of course, because, guys, I don't do Star Wars. I feel like we've gotten Rex in the past. This dude's from Ahsoka. Did we get him from Clone Wars? I don't know. I feel like I'm attributing everything to Clone Wars tonight. It's fine. Maybe something is from Clone Wars. I don't know. Oh, guys, they did a Clone Wars version of him. See? I know the stuff. I'm positive that had a head sculpt. I feel like I've seen this dude with a head sculpt before. I doubt Hot Toys will touch Stellar Blade, but we'll see. I just saw the statues from Prime 1, I believe. They did both Eve and I'm going with Tacky. That's probably not the name. And they knocked them out of the park. That's good to know. I'm good with Clone Wars Rex, so I don't need this. You're right, Helen. They did Rex. I think you're being coy. I don't know what I'm being. I'm just trying to talk about stuff I know nothing about, which seems to be every week. And a lot this week because, lol, what are half of these IPs? I don't even know. Just doing my best. They made Rex from animated Clone Wars. This is Rex from Ahsoka. This is the first live action version of Rex. The Clone Wars had the sculpt. Okay. There we go. J&D in Korea did a third scale statue. And it probably sold out in like 39 seconds, right? Okay, so Rex from Ahsoka. This Ahsoka line is big. Here he is in his outfit. He's got some guns. He's got some blue. He's a commander of troopers or clones. I don't know. He's in charge of something. Go Rex. I have nothing more to say about Rex. Sorry, guys. I feel like I now want to do every Star Wars segment in 60 seconds, but I feel like that will upset people. Yep, it sold out in minutes, the single and the one of Eva and Tacky. There you go. Because J&D, everyone loves them. You're doing a great job. I don't know that people agree. Star Wars collectors appreciate you trying. Look, I just feel like I'm just trying. I'm a trying person. And I don't mean that as in having a go. Look, this is where I'm like, Collectors Unite worked so well because, like we had Joelle and Christian knew the Star Wars, but then I sort of knew the DC and Marvel, and the three of us, it kind of worked together. And when you're on your own, there's no buffer. So hence I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing my best. People were like, we're the Friday stream, so I thought I'd step up. Did not think this would become a weekly thing. I thought it would be ad hoc. So I'm giving it a go. Love the way you describe Rex, Blue Rex. Honestly, that pretty much sums it up. Love it. Thank you. He is Blue Rex in my mind. Helen, we know you're doing your best. It's all just the pressure from Alison. Look, pressure from Alison and that pressure from Shuri because it's cold here at night. And she wants me to go to sleep because she likes to sleep between my feet. I'm like her heater. So she gets a bit like, come on, you're wrecking the routine. Pressure all around. Helen, I'm with you. Never care for these Clone Wars, and I was a Dragon Ball Z kid. Is that what DBZ is? I feel like so many of these things are like past my time. Even like Pokemon. I feel like I was just a few years outside of that window of people who loved Pokemon. Guys, Black Manta. And I know what you're thinking. Has Helen even seen Aquaman 2? Yes, I have. I watched it on the flight to the US last year. Actually, no, I watched it on my first leg of my flight, which was from Perth to Sydney. And I'm not going to lie, this movie was a struggle to watch. Calling it average feels generous. I did not think we were getting Black Manta. I'm shocked we live in an age where the only figure we got from this movie was Black Manta. I really thought we were going to get another Jason Momoa Aquaman. I actually feel like a Jason Momoa Aquaman artisan would be popular because he's got the beautiful hair. And I can picture a lot of people wanting an artisan Jason Momoa Aquaman. So that ship, has it sailed? I have to think it sailed. But wow, Black Manta. And what gets me is Hot Toys beat. Didn't So Toys put this up for pre-order how many years ago? I don't even think that ever released, did it? So the fact Hot Toys announced it and brought it out before, I think there was two third-party companies that said they were going to do this? I don't think either of those have released, have they? Black Manta, my goodness. And it's funny because even the way this was announced was so like, here's all this stuff. And by the way, Black Manta. Did anybody else feel that way? That it was like, oh yeah, here's stuff, Black Manta. It felt very like when they released the Flash figures and it was just like bang, bang, bang. Like not like let's space these out, let's give them these moments in the sun. It's like we're getting these out as quickly as we can. Let's forget this thing ever existed. Man, I'm not big into DC collecting, but I love this cartoon back in the day. League of Doom made these DC villains so cool. But do you want Black Manta? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm serious. Like, anybody watching live or in the replay who has this on pre-order, I'm genuinely interested to know. Because I feel like I forgot this was even a thing, that they were doing Black Manta. Because, God, it's such a forgettable movie, seriously. We got Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Commander Wolf, Commander Appo, ARC Troopers 5s, ARC Trooper Echo, Captain Vaughn, ARC Trooper Jesse. Just some of the clones HT gifted us. And I can't get a Koye. You can get all those clones, but I can't get a Koye. That's what really makes me sad. I think the first Aquaman was way better. Look, it was better. Elements of it were still very predictable. But the second movie was just hard. Like, I started it and I stopped and then I had to force myself to keep watching because I'm stubborn. Like, I could have happily stopped it where I did and not gone back to it, but I was like, no, keep going, see it through, maybe it gets better, and it did not. So that felt like a wasted couple hours of my life, I'm not gonna lie. Mad Planet, hi Helen and chat. I agree with you about Artist and Aquaman. I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I think Momoa is just such a popular dude, and even though these movies were pretty mid, I think the guy is just people like him and they like him as this character. I can't think you wouldn't sell 5,000 Artisan Jason Momoa Aquaman figures. Like, I really struggle to think that you couldn't sell that. I think so many people would love an Artisan Aquaman. DC always gets the short end of the stick. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Dark Knight trilogy is the thing that really got a lot of love from Hot Toys. Aside from that, you know, have they gone deep into a lot of lines? Like, it feels like not in recent history. Even the Batman like, you know, they didn't even give us the Zoe Kravitz Catwoman. Like the success of the Penguin TV show, they haven't thought of giving us a Colin Farrell Penguin. Nothing. So even a property like the Batman that's done so well, they've given us very little from. Like, no Riddler. Like, I would have loved, like, I think a lot of people really wanted that Zoe Kravitz Catwoman to go with Pattinson. Didn't get it. Hot Toys didn't even give us like a Bruce Wayne, like a civilian Bruce Wayne. I feel like that's a thing that they do typically do. Like, they like a 2-pack, or they used to like a 2-pack. So this is the thing, like, as a DC fan, like, it has been pretty slim pickings. And honestly, like, part of me feels like that's why they keep going back to the Dark Knight trilogy because I think it's probably the most successful thing that DC's done as a superhero trilogy. People still love it. You've got new people coming to the hobby, and like, they have made significant improvements. I have to say, like, I was not doing the 2.0s, and I'm eating my words because I'm doing that now. When I look at things like the original Bane versus the new one, significant improvements, 100%. But this is the thing, like, DC has not gotten, like, even the Suicide Squad, which I thought was a pretty successful movie. We got King Shark, and that's it. I did not think that's all we would get. So, yeah, hopefully with this new era, things improve and we might get some more DC stuff. I'm assuming you mean Buddy. One of my buddies, he owns 15 501st Troopers, 4 of the ATRTs with ARF Troopers, several Bark Speeders with Clone. He's getting Commander Wolf and Wolfpack Troopers. He's a clone maniac. Well, that's one word to describe it. Often's here. Hello, chat. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Offen. Hope you're doing well. I don't want this. I want an Okoye. Me too. 5 bajillion troopers and no Okoye. Really? I ordered Manta because I needed a villain to pose against my Aquaman. Yeah, I think he's a companion piece, right? I'm still surprised we did not get... How do you just make Black Manta from Aquaman 2? It does make me laugh. Would have been cool to have the first movie design of Black Manta, but this is a one-off figure. Oh, 100%. We're not getting it again. Sorry, Helen, clones are a big thing in Star Wars, and amongst us trooper collectors, Hot Toys knows it too. Oh, I know it is. Like, people are buying 5 bajillion of the things and all the variations and all the whatevers. But I'm still entitled to ask, Okoye when, please? I need to start reissue the Mark 47ing Okoye. Maybe we'll get an Artisan Lobo now that Momoa is in that role. Maybe, but I still think, you know, Aquaman, he was popular in that role, so would definitely love an Okoye and an Ayo, yeah. And that's what I feel like that Dor Milaje outfit. you could use that for a few characters. You economy of scale, Howie Claus. Come on. We need a Koye. Mars Toys offered first Black Manta, but hasn't seen the live day. Oh, it was Mars Toys. I'm positive So did as well, Anthony. I felt like there was 2 companies that would like, we're doing Black Manta. And I don't think either of them have released it, which is interesting because, as I say, Hot Toys, second movie announced, released, and we still haven't had anything. But man, So Toys is just becoming so slow toys. Seriously, like their releases, I want to say 4 So Toys figures on pre-order, and they are all so delayed, and they don't want to tell us when they're coming out, but I'm just like, they used to be a lot better releases, and this is where I'm wondering with some of these third parties, do they kind of, they're releasing stuff, it's good quality, gets popular, people start, please this, please that, make this, make that. They bite off more than they can chew, and then the quality dips and they can't keep up. So, yeah, I mean, if they're good, I'm happy to be patient, but some of their recent, couple of their recent things have been a bit iffy, I think. Warner Brothers can't seem to get the Batman running well. They can't get a sequel out since it's maybe going to come out in 2027. Oh, really? I thought it was, I did hear it got delayed, but I couldn't remember if it was till 2026 or 2027. But yeah, also I'm just like, that's working. Like, please, James Gunn, let that keep happening. Like, don't interfere with what's happening with the Batman, because they got that world under control, I feel. We got Artisan Harley Quinn last year from the Suicide Squad as well. Yeah, we did, but I mean, that's a limited release. Like, it bums me out because I wanted that look for Harley. I wanted Margot Robbie Harley Quinn with the comic-inspired outfit. And this is another thing that gets me. And they've only done it as Artisan. And that breaks my heart because I really wanted that. But yeah. But, I mean, how many are they making? 3,000? 5,000? So a few people will get it. But King Shark was the only, like, widely released figure from that movie, which I still think is crazy. Keith Lee's here. Good morning, afternoon, evening. I've been here the entire time, but just working. Oh, hello. Well, thank you for dropping a comment. I'm glad you've been tuned in. It's always interesting because, like, I can see how many people are watching, and then, like, there's people who comment, and I'm always kind of like, who are all the other people that are not commenting? Like, who's watching? Why aren't you saying hello to me? Say hello. Mike says the only difference between a Koye and the rest of the Dora Milaje is her gold collar accents. Would be like doing a clone and just swapping head sculpts. I feel like, yeah, it's a bit like that. It's same, like I was bang on about the Ninja Turtles. It's the same base thing, different mask color, different belt, and some different paint application. But the baseline thing is the same. But no one wants to make them in 6 scale. Still waiting on So Blade. Oh, that's right, Lumi. You had that on pre-order. That's another one that has taken so long. They're really not keeping up with things. Like, I've got the Deathstroke. I've got 2 of their Flash figures and the Supergirl figure. And I feel like that Deathstroke figure was meant to have come out a while ago. The Flash figures, I think, were meant to have come out last year. And very few things are getting released. Even, didn't they announce was it a Peacemaker head sculpt and shield set or something like that? And even that I don't think has been released yet, has it? And also, is it Premiere Toys or Premium Toys? I forget. Like, people are still waiting for their Last of Us Ellie, which was meant to be released, like, I feel like at least 18 months ago. So I really, I don't get what's taking some of these companies so long. I really don't. I hope that Hot Toys drops Wolverine soon. When is that due for release? I feel like there's a few things that are a bit overdue, like Wanda, like Endgame Wanda's overdue. I feel like Indiana Jones is overdue. Is Joaquin Phoenix Joker? I feel like if that's not overdue, it's creeping towards overdue. So yeah, it's interesting. Mark P, hello everyone. Well, hello to you. Thank you for dropping a message. Clinton Martin's here. Howdy, folks. Howdy, Clinton. How you doing? That present toy one is a great piece as well. Hear a lot of people picking up both. I have the present toys and love it. Nice stand-in from the original Hot Toys. Oh, I'm guessing that's the Blade figure, Mr. J. Yeah, So Toys. Again, I feel like they announced that Blade so long ago. Like, what's the hold-up, guys? King Dingaling. I can see this not selling well, and then once it goes to waitlist, the price skyrockets in the second market. Well, I think that'll be the interesting thing with things like this King Dingaling, because I feel like this could go one of either way. It's going to sit in a bargain bin, or it's going to be a She-Hulk scenario where it wasn't a lot of pre-orders, not a lot get made. It comes out, people go, actually, this looks pretty good, and then everyone's scrambling to get it. Because this is the thing I'm noticing. Things I don't feel like are sitting around the way they used to. The number of things that are sitting around is not on the level that it used to be, which is why for me, I learnt from my mistakes of last year. Like, I'm just pre-ordering early, and if stuff gets discounted, that's fine. Certain things I need to have. I just want that peace of mind. I don't want to be stalking the pop culture website the way I was for She-Hulk and Bane, because that was stressful. Speaking of the Suicide Squad, the Fun Toys Puma / Adidas Hybrid tracksuit for King Shark looks fun. Oh, it does. I meant to include that one week on the stream and didn't. But yeah, I think that's cool. They have come up with a tracksuit for King Shark. So if you want a King Shark and you want to give him a funky outfit, I think 1/6 Kit is selling that. Probably places like Giant Toys as well are selling it. Wolverine is expected to ship April to September. Okay, so we could potentially be a long way off for that. Lumi already has the present Toys Blade. That's fair enough. So Black Manta, as I said, I have no idea how popular it's going to be. To me, this looks like a nice figure. I don't have any criticisms about it. It looks nice. I know who this is. You've got the trident that has this sort of glowing effect, or you can have it without. It's fine. Does it get me excited? Not really. But then the movies didn't either. So it's there, as I said, most likely a companion piece of people who want it to go with their Aquaman, but I still find it funny that we didn't get an Aquaman from Aquaman 2, but that's Howard, right? All right. JazzInc and the Penguin, they keep dropping more photos. And you know how I feel about this. And someone told me last time I spoke about JazzInc that I sounded like Genobi. And I don't know how to take that comment. But I still stand by what I said, which was, these pictures are nice and all, but I want to start seeing samples from the factory. Because I paid my deposit for Catwoman quite a while ago, and we have not had updates on her in a while. I don't know what's happening with Catwoman, but they keep showing me pictures of Penguin. And apparently the pre-orders are opening the second half of May. And I totally would have liked to have had a better understanding of the production quality of Catwoman before I potentially had to pre-order the Penguin. And I have to say, it is interesting that the pre-orders are opening in May. And hopefully by then the tariff situation has been sorted out, because if it hasn't, given JazzInc's distribution, I don't know what impact that might have on people. Some people might not particularly feel like they want to order from Kit if they're not sure if they're going to have to face a 145 or whatever it's set out this week tariff. So whether that changes, I don't know. But the figure is looking good. I will 100% admit that. Gee Whiz Customs, who people may be familiar with, they've done the clothing outfit. Gee Whiz Customs is very expensive. So this is again where I go, prototype, amazing, but we're not getting clothes made by Gee Whiz Customs. So this is where I'd like to see a bit more, something of what is going to show us the quality of the factories that they're using in China. Because hand-painted, hand-rooted, hand-sewn, that's a whole different ballgame to mass-produce in a factory. So yes, maybe I do sound like Denobi, but I think it's a valid question and concern to have. This is the sewer version. So JazzInc, they posted yesterday and today a lot more photos of the penguin. So we've got the sewer version and the Maya version. The sewer version, I have to say, I really love the neutral head sculpt. One we see in the middle of all the head sculpts is probably my favorite. But I prefer the Maya look, so I'm a bit bummed that the head sculpt I like is not potentially with the outfit that I like. But the sewer version, it looks cool. They've included a fish, which I think is a fun accessory to have. You've got the fur coat. Fur, it's the theme of the week. Tell your friends. You've got the umbrella with the accessories on it. I think that's cool. I don't know that we needed this head sculpt. Did we need dying penguin head sculpt? I don't really know that we did. That's not to say it's not done well. I don't know if many people are going to use this. I don't know. Let me know. I'm keen to know, guys. People who want to get this penguin, what are you thinking? Are you thinking sewer version? Are you thinking the Maya version? Both? I'm keen to know which way people are leaning. For me, I feel like I prefer the Maya look for Oswald. I feel like that's when he'd kind of made it in the movie. And when I think of him and Catwoman together, I feel like he was in that Maya Cobblepot phase a little bit more. So sewer version, as I said, looks nice, but I'm still that person going, but I want to see what a production version of a JazzInc figure looks like. Then we've got the mare. That's looking cool. I don't know if it's going to come with this podium and all this stuff. And that's what's going to be interesting because they're showing a lot of these photos of the mare with the podium, but I don't know if he necessarily comes with that. I do also like this smiling head sculpt, not going to lie. I do think this is probably of the sculpts. I think there's three sculpts for each. So I think your standard release will have one and your deluxe releases will have three. So I think of the three sculpts I've seen for the Maya, this is my favorite of the sculpts. Got a few comments, so let's talk through them. This penguin looks pretty good and I have no skin in the game. It's hard for me to take a leap of faith with a company diving into 6-scale figures for the first time. Yeah, I'm the same, Mike, but it's just interesting because I just find that the JazzInc faithful, they really don't like it when you question Yost and his abilities. But that's the thing, like vehicles, figures, they're two different games. Like, as I said, that Catwoman, it's a very ambitious first figure. And they're asking a pretty penny for them. And I think asking questions is not I don't know. I don't know why people seem to think it's an attack or a dig. Like, I think they're legitimate questions a lot of collectors are wondering. Like, I put down that pre-order for the Catwoman because FOMO totally got me on that. But if I had a sense that Hot Toys was doing these, I don't think I would have. I want to pre-order the Catwoman, but I'm so hesitant because we haven't seen a sample from the factory they're using. 100% Dirk Diggler, and that's my thing. And that's when I got told, oh, you're sounding like Denobi. And I'm like going, but I don't think that's unreasonable. Like the Iron Scavenger, whatever they called it, figure they did was a long time ago. I can't remember, but I feel like it didn't particularly articulate. These are different. And they're working on a lot of figures at the same time. And I'm like, and I know this probably isn't the same kind of comparison to make, but as someone who pre-ordered like the RCN Studios John Wick head sculpt, and they had a beautiful prototype. They opened up deposits, pre-orders, people pre-ordered, and we saw what was to be the final production photo, and people were like, no, you can't release this. And they've had to go back to the drawing board, and they've talked about, you know, dealing with the Chinese factories not being there, things not being up to the standard. And like JazzInc is in the Netherlands. And I've said this all along, like, if you're not going to be there overseeing this and the QC, that lends itself to issues. And we've seen that with the vehicles. Like, none of the vehicles have come out and like 100% no issues. And I know there's people go, but Yoast deals with the issues, as he should. As he should. If he's selling things at a premium price, him giving customer service is what he should do. Like, people acting like I remember someone posted about they got their 89 Batmobile and there was a problem with it, but he was delighted because he got this great customer service. And I was like, but your figure came, like, your vehicle came with an issue. How are you then saying you were delighted? Like, it just made no sense to me. But this is my thing. Like, we don't know who are they using. You're expecting them to root hair. You're expecting them to replicate hand-painted sculpts. You're expecting them to replicate very high-end tailoring from G-Wiz Customs. Like, I think we all know there's going to be a degree of drop-off in quality. We know that. But we don't know the degree. Is it 5%? Is it 50%? We don't know. So I don't know why some people think it's unreasonable to be asking the question about this, because I really had thought and hoped we would have been closer to the release of Catwoman before they were then opening up pre-orders for the Penguin. So, and I know I'm not alone in that thought. I'm not. In an ideal world, I would love to see more pics of the Catwoman before Penguin goes up for PO, but I don't think that's going to happen. Looks like we have to gamble. And that's the thing, Anthony. Like, there's been so few updates on Catwoman. Like, I keep seeing 89 Batmobile, Batman, animated figure. I see Penguin. Was it the Julie Newmar Catwoman? Like, we keep seeing all these other things. And I'm like, where are the updates on the one figure you have accepted pre-orders for? Where's that? Like, you asked us a question about the body and we've not really had anything since. It's been a long time. Oh, we've seen Bat computers. We've seen 68 Batmobiles. So much stuff we've seen. And I'm sitting here going, Catwoman update when, please? Anthony says, I'm all in for the Penguin 2-pack, and I love the dying head sculpt as well. Oh, interesting. Would you use the dying head sculpt? I'm so keen to know. And this is where I do get quite interested to know which versions of things people like. Because even with this Maya version, like, there's this angry sculpt where I'm like, depending on how you're posing it and using it, like, could work, might not work, but I feel like I'd like a sculpt which I feel like is pretty universal and can be used in a range of contexts, which is probably why I like neutral. And even with Catwoman, I was a bit bummed that fully neutral sculpt did not get over the line in the vote. I feel like a neutral sculpt is something that should come with every figure. So that's my one thing that I think is a bit of a bummer with the Maya figure, that it doesn't come with a fully neutral sculpt. Cousin Anthony. Hello, cousin. Looking forward to you bringing us news and snacks. Oh, yeah, I spoke about snacks at the start of the show. If you're driving, don't text and drive. Be safe. I'm gonna quote often. I'm eating a white cream egg at Figure Posing Channel. Like a Cadbury cream egg? That sounds like it would be incredibly sweet to me. I've never had a cream egg because I just imagine that middle is very sweet. And then white chocolate I don't like because it's very sweet as well. But you enjoy your cream egg. God, I'm just yucking your gum. Sorry, that was uncool. Mike says, I can easily see JazzInc doing this diorama for Penguin separately. that would make good business sense in the case for Yoast since dioramas are right in JazzInc's name. Well, I mean, with Catwoman, you had to get the deluxe 2-pack. And I know some people had said, would you offer the diorama separately? And I'm pretty sure Yoast didn't want to do that. So I don't know. I could see people being interested in just like getting the diorama separately, but I think it also is about maybe packaging and shipping as well. I don't know. Yeah, people that collect JazzIncs be drinking that Kool-Aid sometimes. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, I feel. And some of them don't like me, and that's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know that. Randall says, I feel like if you place a deposit on a pre-order, the customer has a right to ask questions and get appropriate answers. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Some people don't like my questions. That's fine. Aaron says, I do love the Mayor Penguin over the sewer version. Yoast released Mayor Penguin pictures. Say, I know, we're looking at them right now. And I was happy that he did because he released the sewer ones. And I was like, Mayor Cobblepot? Because that's the one I'm more invested in. So, yeah, I was very happy that he shared these today. I'm sorry that kills me, the dying head sculpt. But it is. This is like, it's like when he's dying, he's got the stuff coming out of his mouth. Like, that's why I'm like, how are you posing this? Like lying on the ground with the little penguins like lining up to drag his body into the sewer water. Like what are we doing with this one realistically? But Mayor Cobblepot, he does look cool. As I said, don't know if he comes with the podium. I would love it if he came with the campaign poster. I do think that's cool. So yeah, he's kind of got the smiling head sculpt. He's got this kind of, I don't know how you describe it. Is it like a talking, like an angry head sculpt? Yeah, I just wish he came with a neutral head sculpt. He's got his little birth certificate there. He's got some cool accessories. The cigarette. Yes, a Cadbury cream egg. To be fair, the white wasn't as sickly as the normal one, which was a nice surprise. Oh, really? I would have thought a white chocolate cream egg would have been sweeter, but there you go. I've learned something today. And here's another look at the outfit. As I said, made by G-Wiz Customs, and they do a very good job with their tailoring. And we can see the different layers of the clothing. We've got the pants, the shirt. He's got his suspenders, the vest, the tie. It's looking nice. As I said, I think with this one, I do like that smiling head sculpt the most. I think if I was to get this, smiling head sculpt would be the way I want to go. Aaron says, certainly valid. I think I'm in the bag for one of these anyway. I feel so torn. Like, I need Penguin for my display. But as I said, I would like to understand more of what I'm getting. And don't get me wrong, I think the people JazzInc is bringing in to do their prototyping, they're bringing in people like of a high caliber, high quality, high skill set. But that's a prototype. Like, these things are then going to get recreated in a factory in China, and Yoast is not there overseeing the QC. And, you know, I always point to, and people are probably going to get annoyed at me again, with the 89 Batmobile, he said members of his Dutch team were in China, but then things were going out the door with problems. And I feel like nobody's going to know these products more than Yoast. I think he needs to be on the ground there overseeing this QC. If members of his team were there when stuff was going out the door with problems, that for me just reinforces you need to be there. And if you're not prepared to be there, then I think that opens it up to things that are going to go out at an unsatisfactory quality. And this is something that Joao talked about that I'll reference again. Like, Joao's been involved in manufacturing in China, and he said to me, with QC, you do have to be careful because in China, there's people there that'll go, oh, there's just a scratch on that table. It's fine. It's just a small scratch. Whereas if you're there as the business owner, you're like, no, that's not acceptable. If you don't have that person on the ground to reinforce the standards and keep an eye on things, that's an issue. And that's an advantage that these other companies have, like Hot Toys, like J&D, like InArt, like they're there amongst the production. And I think that makes a difference. And don't get me wrong, I hope Catwoman is amazing. Like, I've put down a deposit. I hope it's amazing. But it's a wild card as to what that final product is going to be. And I'm going to keep saying that till they show us a production sample. And I can compare that to what the prototype was. Because even with the animated Batman, like, they started off with this realistic body, which wasn't what people wanted. And they've said, like, they're doing a render of the animated body, but I don't think they're doing a prototype of it. So again, you're just pre-ordering based on good intentions. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Does this come with the campaign button? Oh, I hope so. We haven't been given a full look at all the accessories, but as I said, like, I do like these posters in the background. The campaign posters are cool. I hope it does come with the campaign button, because I feel like that would be like an easy accessory to do. Like, even Harvey Dent coming with the I Believe in Harvey Dent buttons. Like, I feel like that's pretty cool. The poster is awesome, 100%. I feel like, particularly if you're not getting the diorama, I feel like the poster gives you that nice just bit of accessory that you can use to create a bit of a scene with it. That would be cool. Not sure if I have the space for the podium, but might get anyway. Yeah, I mean, Penguin's not a big dude, so I do wonder how big it is. I remember there was a third-party company that was meant to do a Harvey Dent, and that was meant to come with a full-on podium. And I don't know if that ever released, because I feel like that was a couple of years ago that got announced. I don't know. Did that ever come out? Does anybody else remember that? Or is it just me? God, maybe it got cancelled. It's so hard to keep up with everything. Oh, goodness. Figure in a bubble. That's very kind with the super chat. Hi, Helen. I'm with you. Unfortunately, not everyone has a grasp of good business sense. There's a lot of foolish money in the 1/6 scale community. Yeah, I mean, what do they say? Is it a fool and their money are parted easily? Look, as I said, like, I've had people who have, like, questioned my view on the JazzInc stuff, but I feel like more people have said to me, like, I'm with you and I'm happy that you raised this because I feel the same way. So as I said, like, I think when someone mentioned someone paid $1,200 for Anakin, some people will have no problem paying the prices. For me, I do. I question the cost versus not knowing the quality that I'm going to get. Because with the Hot Toys figure, even with the, like, So Toys figure, what else have I got? I've got Topo suits. I feel like I've bought enough of their products to have a baseline understanding of what I'm getting. And we don't have that with JazzInc. And as I said, like, I think we're all hoping it's going to be awesome and amazing, but we don't know for sure. So I'm hopeful because I pre-ordered that Catwoman. I hope it's amazing. But I'm also trying to go, until you see it, you don't know what you're getting. Don't know what we're getting. But thank you for the super chat. That was very kind. I appreciate that. And thank you for the comment. It's so nice to see you in the comments. I'm pretty sure Figure in a Bubble, I'm pretty sure I've seen you on S-Beam stream, and I feel like you're a fellow don't do the Star Wars person. So if you are the person I'm thinking of, thank you. I appreciate you. Aaron says totally legit concerns. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. People complain about the Hot Toys QC, and they've been doing figures for decades. So I'm very skeptical that JazzInc will be able to mass produce a product that exceeds expectation on their first try. And from a different continent. That's my thing as well. I feel like I would probably have a little bit more comfort and confidence if, like, Yoast was going to China at some point. I don't get the impression that that's going to happen. Jordan, hello, Jordan. I've got a question. What is the ETA for the release of Catwoman from JazzInc? I think it's Q1 2026, if I'm remembering correctly. Personally, they aren't doing anything unusual based on how they've handled prior products, which is showing progress updates along the way until a prototype is done and available and pre-order is available. My understanding would be that you wouldn't see a production sample until closer to release. So it's logical you wouldn't see new stuff they're working on to prep for prototypes and pre-order. Unless I'm missing the boat here, I totally get your uncertainty at this point, but it's a waiting game until it's close to release. But I think that's the thing, Jordan. Like, the last update I remember seeing from JazzInc, and if I've missed an update, someone please tell me, because I do struggle to keep up with everything now I'm back at work. They had not settled on a body. They had not even settled on the material they were going to use for the suit. And then there have been some changes of, is the material going to be able to allow articulation or not? Like, they have some tweaks, some things along the way. But, like, they've not even settled on some of those things, unless they haven't not told us. But the last thing I saw was they asked about the proportions of the figure. They were going to make some mods. But they were up to, I'm pretty sure Yo said this is either version 9 or 10 of the body. So we don't know, have they finished the body? Have they selected materials? Because the production time needed even to produce samples to then mass produce like 6 head sculpts, some with rooted hair. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. And I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm not. I feel like other companies, when they're showing you, like, I see a toy prototype from Hong Kong, like, I know what I'm getting is similar to that. I'm not being shown a thing that's not pretty close to what I'm getting and being asked to pre-order. It's all subjective. Yes, I am. Oh, awesome. I'm glad I have the right person in mind. Sorry, you would. Okay, I'm lost with that comment. I think if you asked, you should answer. Look, that group is a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm happier just observing in that group, to be honest. But no one's even asking the question, which kind of surprises me. And maybe I should just ask the question, Aaron. Everyone just seems happy to just sit there waiting. And I'm like, going, for people who are ordering for the first time, I'm like, I can't be the only one going like, photos of Penguin are cool, but I want to know what's happening with my Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, please. But as I said, we've got progress photos. Does this look nice? It does. It looks very nice. But what we're seeing here is a handmade custom. What are we getting? We don't entirely know yet. And as I said, I will always sit on, I hope it's good. I'm not sitting here wanting any company to fail, any company to put out a bad product. I want it to be amazing so I can add extra pieces to my display, but we'll see. Let me know, guys. What are you thinking about this Penguin? Which version do you prefer? Is there a particular head sculpt that you're liking? Do you also like the dying head sculpt? It's very expressive. Like, it is very well done. I have to say, it looks nice. It's not for me. It's definitely not for me. I hope we get some penguins with it as well. That would be cool. Some little furry penguins. But yeah, it's looking cool. It's looking very cool. I'm really digging the Maya version. I really am. And no indication of pricing as yet. I know I don't think that's a bad move, because I think with the Catwoman some indicative pricing was given and it did change a little bit from that. So I do think it's a better approach to not even talk about price until you 100% know. And also 100% know what's happening in the world, as I said, with tariffs, with even postage. My goodness, it feels like everyone wants to charge an arm and a leg to post to Australia nowadays. So it will be interesting to see when this does go up for PO and what the pricing's like. But yeah, I do think, as I say, nice expressive head sculpt, but I do like a neutral sculpt as well. I feel like that definitely has its place. Yeah, it's looking nice. I'd also love to get a proper Colin Farrell penguin. I contemplated getting that third-party one, but I don't know. I prefer to have a licensed figure if I can. Gilbert says the hype was real on the 17 OKT 2024 pre-orders. I have followed the page and only 2 batches of pre-orders are there. I don't know. Is that about Catwoman? I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Gilbert. Sorry. Regardless, I'm not defending them or rallying against them. I'm just looking at it from a logical step-by-step process. If there's no updates, that means there's no new updates. Trust me, I get angsty with stuff. People can express their views. I have my view, you have your view. I don't get offended. I'm also not in the business of trying to convince people. Like, that's fine. Big Rube says Maya for me all the way. Yeah, I like the Maya too. I prefer the Maya, but I won't pre-order anything else before I get my Catwoman DX in hand. That's fair enough, Gilbert. I know talking to Kareem, he kind of said the same thing. He's like, I feel more inclined to wait for it to be released and maybe have to pay a bit more, but know the quality that I'm getting. And I was like, that's a really good point, because you can still pre-order the Catwoman in places. And even I've been quite surprised by like the JazzInc waitlist, like even the 95 Batmobile, they just had they were converting people on that, like the Batwing not that long ago, they converted people on. And I've got to think they're making more units than the pre-order numbers. Because you will have people going, oh, like, if it comes out great, I need this Catwoman. You're not going to go, particularly if Yoast is saying, oh, I'm not doing, my understanding is he said he's not doing 2.0s and reissues, but whether that changes in the future, I don't know. But surely you'd be producing extra. So I have to think there's going to be an opportunity on release, because even in-art products on release, if you really want, you can often pick up a unit from kit if you act quickly enough. This hobby is a waiting game. Yeah, it is. Yoast is saying he will sell a 3-pack of penguins separately or get it with the sewer DX. Oh, yeah, a 3-pack of penguins would be cool. That would be cool. I would like some little penguins, I feel. It looks cool, but not for me. That's fair enough. Yoast just posted pic 7 minutes ago. Shows more accessories. Oh, yes, it was about Catwoman, Helen. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, shows the dying one lying face down on the ground. Oh, that's hilarious. Hang on. Let me... Oh, it does. Hang on. Let me try to remember how to share my screen, folks. I feel like I do. Let's go. All right. Facebook. Penguin. Photos from JazzInc. Okay. Oh, I do. Those penguins are cool. I do like those penguins. Oh, man. I hope that is a separate... I hope that is a separate pack you can get, because I don't want that to be behind a paywall, because that... And I feel like that's a thing, like accessory sets I think is a cool idea. Oh, that's hilarious. See, that's why I said that, right? I said, what? Like, you're gonna with the dying sculpt. I said, what are you gonna do? Have him face down, getting dragged into the river in the sewer by the penguins? Oh, that's hilarious. Well played, JazzInc. That is gold. I love that. That is very funny. See, this is that sort of neutral sculpt, and I do love that neutral sculpt. I wonder if they would consider doing it with the Maya version as well. And this is what we don't know. How much of this are we getting? Like, I'm pretty sure they've said the chair's coming with the DX, but I don't know how much of the other diorama bits that we're getting. That will be interesting to see. Oh, this is cool. I really hope this is an accessory pack. They look good. They look really nice. Yeah, penguins would be cool. Oh, this is what we should army build. Penguins, not troopers. I do wonder how much an accessory pack of these penguins would be. That would be interesting to know. Got the penguins. I think we're back to the beginning now. That looks cool. That is still the best picture. Someone has a sense of humor, and I love it. That is very cool. That is very cool. I'll stop that screen. It's me again. Hello. Guys, we're at 2 hours. It's now Saturday morning here in Australia, and I've gone through all my slides. So I think I might call it an evening because, goodness, what didn't I do today? I was weeding my mum's garden. I was cleaning out things at my house. I'm tired and I'm old and I have a sore back. So I'm going to go to bed. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I really appreciate everyone who came to hang out and chat. Like, I couldn't do this stream without the interaction from you guys. And I really enjoy people's different viewpoints, whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me. It's absolutely fine. I do genuinely like to hear different perspectives from people in the hobby. I am in my little bubble otherwise. So I do think it's cool to hear what other collectors think. And I think, I think it's okay for people to have different views. I think, as long as we're all respectful, which I think we totally are. So I don't want anybody to think if they come here and have a different opinion to me that that's a problem. Like, you 100% can express your point of view. And if we're all, like, respectful to each other, like, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. So thank you guys for hanging out. Akira, hello. Great show. Helen, thank you. There's people lurking in the background. And before I go, if you haven't done so, hit the like button. Look at me promoting myself. Why not like the stream? I've kept you entertained for a couple of hours on a Friday night. So I'd love it if you hit a like button. Helen, Yost might be watching your stream. You mentioned that dying scene and boom, he posts a picture. Oh, goodness. I don't know if Yost would watch this stream. I have a feeling he watched Collectors Unite because there was a couple of times we talked about stuff and then videos emerged or posts happen. But I don't know if he would particularly watch my stream, and fair enough, because he probably he might think I'm just a critical person, and I don't think I am. I think I'm curious, and as I say, because I've been an observer and now I'm a first-time purchaser, I'm like, what is this process? What have I bought into? But yeah, look, that dying scene photo is just, like, well played. That's amazing. Great live stream. Thank you, Uncarded Reviews. Thank you for coming by again. Good show. Have a good weekend. Or you too, often. Thank you for coming by. You're not old. Oh, bless your heart. I'm older than I look. I feel like I kind of I have some nice Mediterranean skin happening. Maybe I don't look as old as I am. Thanks, Helen. You're welcome, Mad Planet. Thank you for coming by. Mike says, thanks for the stream, Helen. Looking forward to next weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone. 100% everyone. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Thanks, Helen, for a fun stream. You're welcome, Miss Batwoman. Thank you. You're always here. I appreciate that. Thanks, Helen. Hit the like button. Thank you, Anthony. 100% hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, maybe subscribe. I'm here pretty much every Friday, giving people some entertainment. Helen equals 25 years old. God, Helen wishes. I wish I was 25 years old. Ren's Talentino's birthday is today, and Facebook told me how old he was, and I was like, oh. If I was a more wilder teenager, I could have been your mother. The age difference, it was scary. I'm older than I look. Oh, good, noble young with another riddle. If someone can tell me what these messages mean, that would be great. Penguin, kissing a rabbit, facepalm, peace, thumbs up. All perfectly good emojis. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Be safe. 100% Keith, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming to hang out. Next Friday, same time. Hopefully we'll get all those May the 4th announcement, guys. Fingers crossed, because we can never have too much Star Wars. See ya.